knows the audio is coming out. There's no argument in this dash camera. There is no argument inside the vehicle. And she wants to say, well, my police officers lied and falsified and cut and muted this dash camera. I had no idea. Well, today we have an audio.
By the way, it's common sense to say, I'm bringing in an IT expert to examine this dash cam. It's common sense. It's common sense. When the officer himself says, I tampered with the dash camera, when you have Robert Drum checking out the dash cam from evidence on April 19th, and it's not until the 24th of April that Kathy Zymus, who should have had custody of this dash cam from day one to make a mirror image copy of the file so that nobody tampers with it, nobody manipulates it, but it's too late by then because Chad Mason, the blonde, and Robert Drum, the crooked liar, the crooked liar, have already had their hands in the cookie jar. And now you want to bring in Zymus after they've already ate all the cookies. Kathy Zymus wants to come in and she says, I want to preserve these crumbs so that nobody touches it. You look over at Robert Drum, you look over at Chad Mason, and you see chocolate chips all around their mouth and crumbs all over their T-shirt. And Kathy Zymus is saying, let's preserve this jar. Let's make sure nobody's touching these cookies.
And for 2.5 years...
And you're looking at the jar, there's no cookies in it.
And for 2.5 years, the judge, Judge Carol Weimer, the impartial judge, who's supposed to be impartial, is looking at these crumbs all over Chad Mason's mouth, all over Chad Mason's fingertips, and he's not saying... I mean, Chad Mason got on the stand and told Judge Weimer that I took the dash camera, that I
ate
cut...
these cookies.
I mean, come on now.
He says, I ate these cookies.
You know, I wonder why, now that this channel is going viral, that the body cam of Chad Mason, body cam where he says, the wire is cut.
Judge Weimer is coming in saying, let's bake some new cookies.
Now, all of a sudden, the motion is moving forward. I mean, this channel, the community is tuning in. They're watching Chad Mason admit that
it's amazing that an officer can
admit
the dash camera. Admit to tampering with evidence.
Absolutely.
It's crazy that an officer can take the stand and admit to tampering with evidence, but and the chief of police is not doing anything about it.
You know, I'll tell you, this community was already asking question. Where is the audio? Why is this dash camera is cut before impact? Why are there 17 frames missing from inside the vehicle? And then Chad Mason comes out, these body cams comes out, and he says, I cut the wire. The wire is cut. I cut the... And then he gets on the stand and he tells Judge Weimer that I violated department policy. I took the dash camera back to my car. I'm the one that uploaded the dash camra. And
where's Sean Shelton?
Got
when you need
a warrant 2 days later. Violated this department policy. Violated the chain of custody. You're telling me an officer violated the chain of custody. And now we have... now we have a dash camera that has no audio and is cut before impact. And for 2.5 years, you didn't think it was a good idea as a prosecutor to inspect the SD card that your digital forensic, Kathy Zymus, is telling you it has audio.
I mean, that's...
Instead, you go get a lip reader, and then you want to conditionally enter the dash camera so the jury doesn't see the full dash camera. So you're talking about a situation, not only that the community doesn't see the dash camera, now the jury doesn't see the dash camera. That's what you wanted. It's a failed effort on her part. And what is the one thing that they're terrified that this community and the jury is going to see? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Mustafa and Dorsey are passing back and forth a cigarette.
Exactly.
Do me a favor. Go over to exhibit.
The jury is going to ask, if you're alleging this guy is arguing, why is she giving him a cigarette? Why is he giving her back the cigarette? Why is she giving it to him again? 6 times they're passing back and forth the cigarette. And you want to tell us that they're arguing?
That's crazy. That is. I mean, at one point when Mustafa...
Now it makes sense why she's trying to seal off this dash camera. Now it makes sense why she doesn't want the jury to see the full dash camera. Because they're passing back and forth a cigarette. I wonder if your lip reader can lip read a cigarette being passed back and forth.
I mean, at one point... at one point when Mustafa passes a cigarette to Dorothy, the way Dorothy takes a cigarette, she feels Mustafa's fingers.
Exactly.
As she takes a cigarette. I mean, it shows how much Dorothy loves Mustafa.
If you're arguing, like, even if you're arguing and you're passing back and forth, give me that pen. Like, this is how you would take a cigarette from somebody if you're arguing with them. Okay.
So I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
Okay. If I'm arguing with you, I'm gonna say, give me that shit.
Exactly.
I'm gonna smoke it, and I'm gonna say, here.
Not feel Mustafa's fingers.
But if she's taking it like, thanks, honey.
That is crazy.
You know, and the prosecutor wants to seal that footage.
And Bruce
from the jury.
Safinsky wants to. I say, Bruce Safinsky,
Find another hobby.
I promise you, you're not going to be practicing lip reading.
He doesn't practice. He's a sign language teacher.
Great.
Out of Richmond, Virginia.
Great.
I wonder if he's been teaching the wrong thing.
Okay, look.
To be honest with you.
I promise you, you're going to be held accountable by law. And whoever is giving you a license to practice whatever the fuck you practice, I promise you,
I don't think
you're not
anybody's
going to
going to be
practice
hiring
it
him anytime soon.
I mean, this community is watching this dash camera and is waking up to a reality that this Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, got this lip reader out of a specific establishment. He has a license only to lie on the stand. And by the way, that's what he wanted to do.
Essentially, he's saying, where do I sign? She's bringing in his testimony, and he says, where do I sign? So basically, he's putting his credentials on the line for his buddy Amy. I mean, she's from Richmond, Virginia. I'm sure she probably went to school with him. Okay, and she says, hey, Bruce, I need a favor. I need you to lip read this girl saying I want to get out of the car. That's all I need you to do. By the way, nobody's going to see the full dash camera, so you have nothing to worry about because I've sealed it. Okay? They're only going to see 4 seconds, and I want you to testify only to the 4 seconds. Nobody's going to see anything prior, anything after. It's sealed. Trust me, I've sealed it. And Bruce Safinsky said, where do I sign? And he signed his name on it. Same thing with Jean Maya, the medical examiner. Okay? He was told by Drum that Dorothy was screaming, she was crying, she was protesting.
How is she protesting if they're passing back and forth a cigarette?
Exactly my point. Jean Maya also said, where do I sign? Okay? You have these yes, sir people that basically do whatever you want. And for Jean Maya, you have a very, very important job as medical examiner. People rely on your findings.
I mean, if that's what she's doing in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case, what is she doing in other cases that we haven't accessed yet?
And I find it very interesting that Jean Maya doesn't take into consideration that this 2007 Chrysler 300 had an airbag defect. You look at Dorothy's injuries. I mean, literally a replica of the airbag defect recall notice. A replica is Dorothy's injuries. Okay, when you have a cut all that is 7 inches long on
that's nowhere in the autopsy report.
7 inches long on your forehead, a cut clearly by an object that came out of the airbag, exactly what the airbag recall states, that a sharp object, when the airbag deploys, a sharp object is going to deploy with this airbag, and it's going to kill both driver and passenger in a car accident.
We gave that to Casey Stevens at the time.
You know what he said, Casey Stevens, when I gave it to him? He gave it to his secretary.
What is it?
Not important.
A month, 2 months after the vehicle accident, we got a letter that this vehicle apparently has a recall.
4 months later.
4 months later, we get a letter and that this vehicle should not be driven. If an accident happened, shrapnel is going to shoot out of the airbag and kill anybody that's inside the vehicle.
By cutting by cutting your head.
And that's consistent with Dorothy's injuries. Mustafa has a laceration. Dorothy has like
a deeper cut. Mustafa was grazed by it. Dorothy was hit directly by it.
Now the question is,
but why is the medical examiner not looking at that?
That's a very disturbing.
I mean, it's in the Carfax because the police department ran a Carfax on it. Why is that? I mean, this is a vehicle accident. You don't think a tragic, fatal car accident, you don't think they're going to look at any recalls, any National Highway and Safety Transportation, that department? You don't think they're looking at the
Obviously,
airbag.
they
By the way,
fabricated.
especially when this specific brand, Chrysler 300, has been all over the media, all over the media, been documented to have fatal accidents due to the airbag specifically.